Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Before we get started with Harley Quinn Season 3, Episode 8 review, I just wanted to say thank you. I have been getting a large amount of subscribers lately. I'm up to 876. I think I got 100 plus subscribers within the last month. Highly appreciate that. Been getting a bunch of views on the clips I've been making, especially for Made in Abyss. And I'm hoping that if I ask for it, I will get my 1,000 subscribers so I can finally get monetized. That would be fantastic. Support is greatly appreciated. And I really want to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark so I can finally get monetized. I've been doing this for like 4 years now. So it would be greatly appreciated. And I'm hoping that the trend of high views continues. I'm going to keep doing clips, and probably will do some clips with maybe Rick and Morty. Probably going to review Rick and Morty as well this coming Monday. We'll be getting those reviews on Monday because of how late it airs on Sunday night. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we got Mr. Bruce Wayne all tied up. They are trying to interrogate him, and he is not breaking, obviously being Batman. Dr. Psycho now runs a podcast and is actually doing semi-healthy, trying to help people with their psychological problems. And we get Dr. Psycho in order to go into Mr. Bruce Wayne's mind, which we get transported. And the issue is Bruce Wayne's mind is a steel trap, so to speak. He's got a lot of psychological issues. And the only memory that he keeps is his parents getting shot over and over and over again. And he's crying, and he cannot help them. Clayface is going to be portraying Bruce's dad. So he's actually ends up running around in order to try to get some information to no avail. Just does not work. He gets covered in blood. So in order to attempt to get Bruce, or Bruce's inner child, so to speak, squared away, Harley stops him from seeing his parents getting shot. This point, what this does, this is kind of locks down Bruce's entire mind to the point where everybody gets kicked out of his mind except for Harley, because for whatever reason, Bruce wants Harley there. So somehow Harley is comforting to Bruce's inner child. So she's basically trying to protect him from the killer that's multiplying. We see bats. They do get dropped down a well. And Harley's trying to get him to a safe place where he's comfortable, at which point we finally get into Bruce's memories. So we see his parents dying. That was, it's been played to death. They actually kind of poked fun at it in the episode as well. We see him training. Then we see him becoming the Batman, asking Wilfred, hey, are the ears too long? I think they're too long. Harley, Ivy and the gang is just trying to support Harley because she's stuck. More Ivy than anybody. Dr. Psycho is being an idiot. She's yelling at King Shark. So King Shark actually ends up going back to his kingdom. So maybe we'll get a King Shark Kingdom episode in the future, maybe some underwater stuff. Then we just see Bruce kind of kicking ass, but basically being a hero throughout it. And then Harley ends up taking places with Robin. She runs into her past self. She runs into the Joker. She's kind of poking fun at her old costume as well. The Bat Crew shows up to save Bruce as well. Don't really get a fighting sequence. I kind of wish we did. It's kind of more of, here's some knockout gas. And then Batman finally shows up. He kind of kicks the butt out of the Joker, and we have a Batman Harley Quinn team up. Pretty neat for a couple minutes there. Let's see. And then we got my thumbnail picture, which I guess I'm not getting to my thumbnail picture. And then the killer comes back. Parent killer comes back, at which point little kid Bruce, yet again, pretty creepy. And basically, this is where Harley's like, let's go to a happy place. Let's go to a nice little happy place away from all of this. And he picks the last Christmas, before his parents unfortunately passed away. And this is kind of Harley. This is definitely more of a Harley-centric episode, which we haven't gotten in a while in this season, because it's more been about Ivy. And basically, he's saying you need to go through your traumas like it's okay. You have to heal from them. You can't just keep reliving them over and over again. It's not healthy. At which point, we realize that the killer is actually adult Bruce Wayne. And he was like, the reason I force myself to remember this over and over and over again is ultimately because we deserve it. Because instead of going to a board of directors meeting, he wanted to go to a movie. He got inspired by Zorro. He wanted to go walk through Crime Alley. And basically, he's trying to repent for killing his parents. He is against guns. In his mind, he's not against guns. And I thought that was kind of funny. Batman is very against guns. In his mind, he is not. So basically, Harley says, doctor-patient confidentiality. She's going to keep Bruce's secret. She's not going to tell anybody. Even though Joker already knows Batman is Bruce Wayne anyway, from a previous season when she unmasks him. Harley ends up getting kicked out, wakes up, and, basically saying, Bruce, you got to stop doing this to yourself. We got to get Frank back. Things along those lines. The other characters, Ivy, Clayface, Psycho, are all like, hey, maybe we missed something big. And they kind of did. They missed Bruce going through a nice little therapy session there. And apparently Bruce figured out a way to reverse engineer Frank into being able to reanimate people. So he was able to reanimate plants. Now he can reanimate people. And yeah, you already see where this is going. Bruce is bringing his parents back. Zombies. We're going to have a zombie episode next episode. Yeah, it's bad. The entire Wayne Manor is coming back to life. And I don't know if it's going to be like chill zombies where they actually have personality, or it's going to be like Night of the Living Dead type scenario where, yeah, there you go, the evil, angry eyes. That's kind of where we end. Basically, I don't know how it's going to go. I think it's going to be more of a this is a bad scenario type situation, and it's not going to end well. I honestly don't think it's going to end too well. I think what's probably going to happen is we're going to be beating the crap out of a bunch of zombies next episode, and I guess we're just going to see what happens. That's all we can do. There you go. There's the thumbnail. And it was a pretty decent episode. Definitely not an episode where I was looking to get up and do other things or get distracted by my phone while I was watching it or anything along those lines. Definitely a good episode overall. Definitely solid 8 out of 10. Really good. I liked seeing Harley back. It's kind of funny. She was talking about showing stuff off and her sex appeal and things along those lines. Got to throw in a little bit of fan service in there. Of course you do. Of course you got to throw in a little bit of fan service for everybody. And then we get to kind of see more in-depth Bruce Wayne, because the majority of it is Batman just kind of seems a little douchey, per se, throughout this series, and this kind of brought some light to more Bruce's childhood, his trauma, why he keeps reliving this memory over and over again, and he kind of didn't fully grow. Ultimately, he does need to grow, and he needs to accept his trauma and try to move on with his life. But, you know what, by the end of this, he clearly kind of chose to turn his back on that, to turn his back on Harley's help, and reanimate his dead parents, who have been dead at this point for probably at least 20 years minimum, if not longer. I think Harley's meant to be like early 30s in this. I could be wrong, late 20s, early 30s. We don't have an exact age range, so Bruce, probably slightly older than that. So, yeah, there you have it. There's the end of the episode. As I said, 8 out of 10. What I think is going to happen next episode is we're going to get a nice Night of the Living Dead, or probably more like a Shaun of the Dead type scenario. If any of you are familiar with that particular zombie movie, And Bruce is going to literally have to beat his parents to death. So there's some more trauma coming. Definitely a little bit more trauma coming good old Bruce Wayne's way. Hopefully they get Frank back. I mean, it's been a minute since... it's been a couple episodes. I mean, the last episode, we just kind of blatantly ignored Frank, and this episode, it's like urgent again. As I said, they kind of put those episodes out of order. I don't really think they thought about it too well. The good news is we are getting a Harley Quinn Season 4, has been renewed for a Season 4, so in addition to the new Kite Man show, we are also getting Harley Quinn Season 4 as well. It's doing very, very well, which I like seeing. A lot of people are enjoying it, including myself. So that is where we are going to end it. Please subscribe. Got to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. You can look forward to seeing clips and or reviews, maybe both, of Rick and Morty when that comes out this coming Sunday. What's that, the 4th, I believe? I got Labor Day off, as most people in the U.S. do. So, yeah, that's kind of how we're going to do it. We're going to keep rolling with the clips, keep rolling with the Harley Quinn reviews. There's only 2 left at this point in time, and then that's going to be season finale. And then I'm not sure when Kite Man's coming out. I do need to look into that, because I think I'm either going to review that or at the very least throw up some clips of that as well. Because clips seem to be my bread and butter right now, so, if it's not broken, do not fix it. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.